can see from the report in front of you, it is extremely varied, with one common factor: people. And I'm overwhelmed by how wonderful the wonderful residents we have here in Thurrock that have the same goal as I do, and that's to build stronger communities. Residents want to be proud of Thurrock, and so many want to go that extra mile to make Thurrock great. I've been lucky enough to visit many organisations and individuals that have made a huge impact on our quality of life, and who are our unsung heroes, because on so many occasions we don't even see the work that they're doing. These unsung heroes and volunteers extend into sports and leisure, with thousands of hours being clocked up from coaches and trainers, from arcaders to brown owls, from football to gymnastics, judo and swimming, just to mention a few, all making a healthier borough. And no one can forget our libraries and community hub volunteers. A huge thank you to them all. As I'm sure you're aware, time banking is becoming more and more popular within Thurrock, and I urge every member who has time to sign up for this. This is hosted by Engage, and I'm really pleased to be able to update the Chamber on our bid to provide a memory project to remember and recognise local veterans from World War I, which has been awarded to Engage. And we will be discussing this in our World War I commemorative group at our next meeting. The 100-year anniversary of the Great War will be remembered in other ways as well, and I will keep this chamber updated, as we cannot be allowed to forget. As you've also heard this evening several times, we'll be remembering those who have suffered this Friday at the Holocaust Memorial Day, which I look forward to seeing members at. This year's theme is How Can Life Go On? I'm obviously not going to get a chance to touch on every part of my portfolio, as so much work goes on to protect every resident that is done quietly behind the scenes. For example, ensuring food safety. Our teams work tirelessly inspecting premises to make sure that when we eat out, we have a great experience. Our trading standards teams are also working hard to ensure that goods being brought into Thurrock are safe for our residents, be it hair straighteners or hoverballs. Our teams want residents to have genuine products without risk and are ready to seize any dangerous illegal products. We want our residents to be safe, and that is why we work so closely with our external agencies, which are our partners on the Thurrock Community Safety Partnership. As I'm sure you're aware, just to mention a few, that's the police, fire, probation. Since this report has gone to press, I've received better news from tasking with regards to our burglary figures, and I can report that January's figures are predicted to be less than a 5-year average, so thank you once again to our boys in blue. We work together to meet Safer Thurrock Partnership's priorities, which include to reduce youth offending and re-offending of adults and young people, to reduce harm and safeguard vulnerable adults, and address the risk of violent extremism that is going on in the world around us. We succeed because of the great partnerships that we have built here in Thurrock. Our partnerships obviously extend to our schools and colleges, Royal Opera House, all working on arts and cultural products in many different ways to make sure our diverse borough is great. For example, Thurrock Trailblazers. So far, Thurrock Trailblazers have worked with over 250 teachers in continued professional development programmes. The programmes have reached 33 schools and over 8,000 students. All of them participate in creative and cultural activities. This is surely a cultural partnership worth treasuring. My portfolio is a forward-looking portfolio with a vision for the 21st century. We want to plan for the provisions of tomorrow. We want our libraries to be more than book providing services. We want them to be a provision of the future. And that is why we've been working on a library review to see what residents want. And I've been visiting other library provisions in other authorities to make our vision clear. And I'm excited about the future. This administration is an administration of planning for the provision of tomorrow, which is why we're working so closely with our sporting partners to see how they see the future. Thurrock has so much wonderful sport that it should be celebrated, and the Sports Council works so well to ensure that sports clubs are supported. My personal thanks to them all. Before Madam Mayor asked me to wind up from her stage, I must mention the theatre. You've heard the statement from the leader this evening, so I'll be brief. We've had the most successful pantomime ever this year, with Peter Pan flying to success. As everyone who knows me knows, my heart is in the theatre, and this administration has made it quite clear that we're looking at the theatre provision. We are having a review of the theatre provision because we want to plan for tomorrow. Our residents deserve the best, and that is what we want for them. Be it in the libraries, sports or in the theatre, we are planning for that provision of tomorrow. And I will have great pleasure in updating the Chamber as and when the reviews are completed, and working with my colleagues in the Cabinet, be it in Regen or Education, we will make Thurrock ready for tomorrow. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Goish, as Chair of the Clean, Green and Safer Overview Scrutiny Committee, do you wish to speak or ask a question?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you very much, Councillor, for your report. We move to a time of the year now where budget proposals are becoming finalised and ready to be agreed by Council. And you will know that the draft budget puts forward an £80,000 saving in libraries. Could the Cabinet member tell us, please, how that will be achieved?
Sorry, I didn't turn off my mic. Yes, of course. What we're doing is, as you know, we are doing a review at the moment. We need to make sure that the provision that we have in place is the right provision for the future. We've been looking at how we can achieve this. With the review that's just being done, we can bring further details back when the budgets are finalised.
Thank you. Councillor Snell, do you wish to speak or ask a question? Councillor Okanade.
Thank you very much, Councillor McPherson, for your report. On community house, the Tilbury Hub has been remarkably successful, I must say, and the close cooperation between residents, volunteers, council officers, and all local councillors to be commended. The most important issues are housing and benefits. The Tilbury Hub is ably supported by council officers and voluntary sector, but there are no providers offering professional advice. It is important that independent, impartial advice is delivered at hubs. So can the portfolio holder advise what plans there are to enhance this area of support in Tilbury?
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Thank you very much for your question. I'm a huge supporter of hubs, and I'm sure you're aware that I've had the pleasure of going down and spending some time at the Tilbury Hub, which I'd recommend anybody to go down there. It really is a buzz. And I know that sounds funny from what a provision people were expecting to see in, say, a library and things like that. But it was. There was rhyme time going on. There were people chatting and having cups of tea. It was a really fantastic community place. With regards to getting professionals in, of course, we need to make sure that our community hubs are providing what residents need. It's very early stages with the community hubs, and what we want to do as we move forward is get all the best practice, because Tilbury Hub is very, very different to the Chadwell Hub, if you have the pleasure of looking at the different hubs. And I think what we need to do is get best practice from each of our hubs. So what we end up with is a beautiful, beautiful place that people can go to, get the advice they need, meet people, get the books, but have that whole community spirit in one place. And I think that's where our hubs will get. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Pothecary. Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you to Councillor McPherson for your report. I just have a really quick question on the subject of libraries. I'm just thinking that last year we undertook a consultation on the library service, and forgive me if I'm not correct on this, but I believe we had a sort of fairly decent response rate on that consultation. It was one of the sort of better consultations. What I would like to know is, will that consultation feedback be fed into the review that you're currently undertaking?
Thank you very much. You are quite right. Yes, there was actually good response to the consultation, and yes, of course, it will feed in. We want to make sure that we're taking residents' views into consideration, especially when you get decent feedback. Thank you.
Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to thank the portfolio holder for the report. It's a very good and in-depth report. Thank you. Two questions really, just two quick ones. The Community Environmental Development Fund, do we know, is this going to be kept rolling for the next financial year? Because I was involved in the Frost Estate. I was interim chair when that organisation was first set up, and I know good things that it's done. And my other question really is about hubs. Do you know if and when we're going to get a hub in Corridon? It's been spoke about for quite some time now, and it never seems to be coming forward. So, wonder if you can update us, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jones. With regard to taking in reverse, with regards to the Corringham hub, I haven't got a time scale on that, but a hub at Corringham I think is vitally important. Again, it's the community that comes together. Got a wonderful facility over there where you've got the library, where you've got the computers and things like that. It's absolutely perfect to bring it together. I do apologise that I haven't got a time scale for you, but I will get one for you, and I'll come back to you, and I'll let the whole chamber know, because I say they are very, very vital services. With regards to the Community Environment Development Fund, let me have a look here. You asked if it was carrying on, didn't you? Yes. I know we've got an AGM in March next year, this year, sorry. So we're going to be having a look at it then. I can't give any assurances at the moment because I haven't got the answer. Okay, Councillor Jones.
Can I just give an insight, please, Madam Mayor? It was indicated that they would be kept rolling when I was involved with it. So that's why I'm just asking for the update.
Through you, Madam Mayor, if I can come back to yourself, Councillor Jones, with the response and for the chamber. Is that okay? Thank you.
Councillor Duffy.
Thank you. The council seems to have done everything within its power to stop me asking this question, but I'm going to ask it now anyway. Can the portfolio holder please provide and announce a list of all the estate agents and letting agents based in Thurrock that provide free and independent housing advice? I've spoke to several charitable groups in the borough and not one is aware of any, but you told us in the last full council meeting that there's lots of these available, so I'd just like you to list them all now so that everyone else's mind at rest.
Okay, that's fine. If you go to any estate agent or letting agent, they would be stupid if they couldn't offer you housing advice. So would you like me to start alphabetically?
Free and independent. Free and independent.
It is free and independent. If I start alphabetically, Adam Kennedy. B. Balgores. Belvoir. C. Crooks and Ayres. D. D. Douglas Allen. I won't carry on. If you phone up the estate agents tomorrow and ask them for housing advice, they will give it to you, and I suggest you do it.
Councillor Spillman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the report. People are worrying in Averley about the threat of the library closing. There's been whispers. I know it's only a consultation stage, so there is whispers that library's going to close. Transport links in Averley are pretty poor, and there's quite an older population there. I just want to say, what sort of timescales are we looking at a decision being made regarding the libraries? The second quick one, if plan A to fund the charity sector is to leave the working poor, as Shane Head was seemed to put across to us today, is there a plan B if that money doesn't cover the costs? Are we going to protect the charity sector budget when we see the budget next month? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your question. I can see you smiling there at Mr. Hebb. With regards to Averley Library closing, of course we haven't got any plans to close Averley Library at this moment in time because we're doing a review. We've got to, ask me the question again in the future if you want to, under that things may change. We don't know because we're doing a review. We want to make sure that the services that we provide, be it a hub which provides books in it, there's so many different opportunities when we're looking at libraries of the future. It's a provision for the future. So I'm sorry I haven't got a definitive answer because we're doing a review. But again, ask me again and we'll have a chat about it later on as well, that's fine. With regards to the community sector and protecting funds, I must admit we are very, very lucky with who we have running people like CBS, Engage, CAB, because they have a business head on them, because they want to run it as a business. And I know with the meetings that the leaders had and myself, we've been absolutely thrilled at how they want to engage with the council so that we can work in partnership. And as I said in my sort of speech with regards to this report, we are lucky that we have got such fantastic partners that do deliver such a brilliant service to the residents of Thurrock.
Thank you. 15 minutes is up, but Councillor Hebb, you have right to reply as you was named by.
Thank you very much. I understand that's the way we play in this chamber now, so I thought I'd fully deplore that. Councillor Spillman, just the point you raised, if you honestly believe that duplicating benefit payments is the right thing to do, then you're in gargoyle land, mate. Seriously. This administration had a plan for the service of CAB. Tonight, you destroyed it.
Councillor McPherson, you have 2 minutes maximum to sum up, please.
I will take 30 seconds. Thank you very much, because there was a look there. I recognised that. Give it to my children. Thank you very much to everybody in the chamber for allowing me to present my report. It really has been a pleasure to be in this position and a real privilege to meet such wonderful people, organisations and partners within Thurrock. As I have said, this administration is planning for the provision of tomorrow, and we have exciting times ahead. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.